Hello, everyone, and happy Thanksgiving, and happy Thanksgiving to you, Bird Brain. What's so happy about it? What do you mean, what's so happy about it? It's Thanksgiving, man. You have a lot to be thankful for. Nothing to be thankful for. The turkeys is getting murdered. All right, stop it. Don't start that right now. You do this every year. Oh, true. Oh, my friends, they're getting murdered. But your friends are not being murdered. Look, Bird Brain. This is the kids portion of the show. We're not going to talk about that right now. You want to talk about it later when we do the adult portion, we can do it. But you're not talking about that right now. Do you understand? All right. Anyway, we are going to talk about Bozo the Clown. Bozo! Bozo Bubblegum. That's right, there was Bozo Bubblegum. Bozo was one of the most famous clowns in American history. I know all about him. He was in Chicago. Yeah, he was in Chicago. But Bozo originated in Los Angeles. Capitol Records had a read-along record with a book, and Bozo narrated it. Okay, it was a book. Yes, that's how he started. It was a book. And he was played by Vance DeVar Coolidge, better known as Pinto Coolidge. Pinto? Like a horse. Yeah, I guess you could say like a horse. And he was the Bozo Capitol Clown. That's what they would call him. No kidding, he did a record. Yes, he did all kinds of different records. When did he go on television? Well, he also did go on television in 1949. KTTV, that's hard to say, had the first Bozo show. And Bozo was played by Larry Harmon. Oh, Larry Harmon, one on Pinto. No, Pinto did the records, but then Larry Harmon took over doing the show. Soon the show was franchised over the U.S., and there were different Bozos that played for different television stations all over the country. So there was a lot of Bozos. Yes, there were a lot of different Bozos. However, like you were saying, Chicago is where Bozo was the most famous. Yeah, I know about that in Chicago. Chicago's known for clowns as well. Anyway, Bob Bell played Bozo for the Chicago Bozo show, and it was called Bozo's Circus, and it aired in 1961. No kidding, 1961. That's right, 1961. And the ringmaster was Ned Locke. Ned Locke? What's a ringmaster? A ringmaster, that's like the guy that introduces the different acts in a circus. Oh, I don't know. See, he's like the flying trapeze and, the guy with the lions and that. Yes, that's exactly what he would do. Anyway, when the Bozo show was at its peak in Chicago, it was like a 2 to 3 year waiting list to get on the show. Well, not long. Who tried to get on the show? Well, the kids wanted to be on the show because they had a student audience with children. What if you had a connection? Well, imagine if you had a connection like today, you could probably get on sooner. Anyway, the show aired from the 1960s and 1970s. Joey Kakura, I think his name was, Ayura, played Bozo. He was one of the first guy to play Bozo, but the most famous person to play Bozo was Willard Scott. Willard Scott, that's the guy that did the weather. Yes, that's the guy that did the weather. And the station had came to him, and they were looking for someone to play Bozo. And all the other guys were older, and they had had heart attacks, and they needed a younger guy, and he was in his 20s at the time. And so they asked him. And he had never been a clown before. He had always said that he might want to get into politics, but then he said, well, I decided to go the straight route and be a clown. Oh, no, politicians, they're clowns anyway. Yeah, a lot of politicians are clowns. Anyway, he went to clown college. Clown college, yes, in Los Angeles. He learned how to be a clown, and he took over as Bozo the Clown. And he's probably the most famous person that was Bozo the Clown. Anyway, soon the show was aired all over the world. All over the world, no kidding. Where in the world? Oh, all kinds of different countries. It was in Mexico, it was in Brazil, Greece, Australia, Thailand. Thailand? Even in Thailand? Yes, even in Thailand. Bozo's show became very, very famous. There was a lot of famous musicians and actors who went on the show. No kidding, who went on it? Well, for one thing, the Jackson 5 was on the show. No kidding, Michael Jackson, he was on the Bozo show? Yes, Michael Jackson and his sister Janet was on there too. Bozo became very famous. He had all kinds of, there were pictures and paintings. There were Bozo records. There were Bozo toys. Bozo bubblegum. Yes, even his own brand of bubblegum. And Bozo's show lasted till 2001. That was when the last show aired. And then Bozo, that was it. But it was a very, very, very popular show back then. Even when I was a kid, I remember Bozo. We even had Bozo toys when I was a kid. No kidding. What about them toys now? We got some toys behind us. There's a Bozo transistor radio right back there. Oh, yeah, I see it back there. All kinds of Bozo stuff. Anyway, I would say Bozo is probably the most famous American clown. I think he is too. Anyway, kids, we'll have another clown for you next week. Bye-bye and happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving!